Yo, welcome in everyone! How's everyone's journey into 5.35? Did everyone get out and enjoy some Bozjan Southern Front just like I did? Anyone else power through their first relic weapon? In today's video, I'm going to go over some of the basics of the Bozjan Southern Front and share with you guys my first impressions. So grab a cup of your favorite caffeinated beverage and charge into the Southern Front. First impressions yesterday morning, I was really kind of feeling like it was going to be Eureka 2.0. However, after spending more time in the afternoon and evening in the zone, I have come to a different conclusion. Bozjan is not Eureka 2.0 for two main reasons. First, in my opinion, Eureka was designed to be a more challenging MMO experience than the traditional, what you would call retail experience of an MMO of today. It wanted to provide an experience where the world was a threat and it felt great to level up. You spent maybe all day looking for people to be your same level and grind on random mobs for a trickle of EXP to get to that next level, to really make the journey feel special. And keep in mind, this is all coming from someone who didn't play from A Realm Reborn all the way through till Stormblood. I only came back when they announced Eureka and it was available in-game. I almost came back for Red Mage because Red Mage in Final Fantasy XI, but they had to one-up that and then put Eureka in the game, which was supposed to be this grandiose Vana'diel type zone. And to me, honestly, I wasn't completely let down. I spent a lot of time in Animos before Pagos came out. I was part of the wave that got burnt out with Pagos just being too much Vana'diel-like. It was ridiculously hard and threatening and scary and everything I'm talking about Bozjan not being. And so that's why I think Bozjan is not like Eureka and is not Eureka 2.0. After spending a considerable amount of time grinding in the zones, I can say that I didn't see anyone grinding on random mobs for metal. And it seemed like everyone was on the same page of chasing down the skirmishes and then joining up for the critical engagements. The second reason, as simple as it may be, is that Bozjan didn't feel as threatening as Eureka or a more classic MMO experience. Even on day one, we were all rolling through the zone on our mounts, just blasting past all the mobs without a care in the world. Now I know what you're all thinking. Cactus. It's all just fake grinding. I'm not going to deny that entirely, but a combination of the special actions, the critical engagement system, and a more fleshed out story and quest line throughout the zone make it feel just a bit more special to me. Leveling your resistance rank up in Bozjan consists of gaining metal from doing skirmishes and critical engagements. The zone is divided into three main sections which are gated behind the main quest line, Save the Queen, Blades of Gunilder. Skirmishes are triggered in two main ways, either randomly or from killing certain monsters. At least on the Primal Data Center, it seemed as if everyone was just going from skirmish to skirmish, not really having to worry about killing any monsters to force them to pop. We would kill a few of the monsters that were tag-alongs on the way to the skirmish, and that would always seem to just kind of pop another skirmish. Skirmishes feel like any average Fate with a few standout story-type moments, I guess you could call them, where an NPC will do something sweet or a cool dialogue will pop up on screen. But other than that, just really feels like any average old Fate. And I'm not going to spoil those other things to you, just keep your eyes peeled and you'll see. Skirmishes then have a chance to trigger a critical engagement, which is where the big EXP, metal, and elegant tombstones come from. This is going to be the most confusing part, so pay attention. To join a critical engagement, you must click on the Resistance Recruitment tab on the Lost Finds holster, and then select Request Deployment. If you are selected for deployment, you then have 2 minutes to finish up any skirmishes, change up your lost actions, switch jobs, and commence deployment. If you aren't busy with any skirmishes or finishing up any last tasks, I would hop in right away to let the instance fill up and form parties to be able to take on the critical engagement with confidence. I would go as far as to say that critical engagements are some of the most interesting, mechanically heavy, big group content put into the game to date. They feel exciting and keep you on your toes during battle. That, coupled with the threat of losing your hard-earned metal, makes these fights even more challenging. The rewards for these fights line up accordingly, giving the biggest hits of metal, the largest amount of EXP, and the most elegant tombstones. Even after multiple fights and a basic understanding of the mechanics, I was still finding it a challenge to not tank the floor with my face. Get out there, crush some skirmishes and critical engagements, and you'll be raising your resistance rank in no time. Lost actions are a lot like the logograms of Eureka. However, to me, this isn't a bad thing at all. The lost actions allow you to customize your build and play your job in a very unique way that you can't really do anywhere other than Bozjan or Eureka. During your time out on the front, you'll receive items called Forgotten Fragments. These Forgotten Fragments are what you use to turn into your lost actions. Speak with the Resistance Appraiser to appraise Forgotten Fragments and turn them into lost actions. My Machinist was rolling around curing people up and protecting the whole squad, making me feel like a true support DPS, which is a role that I've always wanted to see in the more modern MMOs. My original class in FF11 was Red Mage, and as anyone who played Final Fantasy XI realizes, Red Mage is a true support job, and there's nothing really like that in 14. It's healer if you want to support, or tank if you want to support, which don't really feel like a support. I personally love this feature, as it kind of tickles a fancy that I've had since way back in 1.0 when they let you take any action on any job, and it was just kind of make your dream job is how it felt. And so I remember thinking I would play an archer and just have random cure, which is exactly what this allows you to do. And I know it's not that game breaking or that ground shattering, but it feels good. It feels nice that when the whole party is getting hit hard, as my Machinist, I could throw some cures and at least top people up enough to survive the next room wide. I mean, we were doing the critical engagements with no healers, and everyone was just kind of lost action and curing themselves up, which kept us going and surviving the critical engagements. Pretty much as long as you don't get hit by the mechanics and pick up the vulnerability stacks, you can use lost actions to cure yourself and others pretty reasonably. It really allows for a level of customization that you don't find anywhere else in Final Fantasy XIV. Between Bozjan and Eureka, the lost actions and the logograms, it's some of the most creative gameplay anywhere, and I don't see why you could think that's a problem. Personally, I love the ability to take cures on my DPS, to take damage on my healer, to take damage on my tank, and to really just be more creative and more useful to the party than any one given role. It made me feel like a real DPS support role, not like the bards of today. And for anyone wondering like I was, you can assign hotkeys to your lost actions. If you're playing on a controller, you can just assign it straight to your hotbar, no big deal. And if you're playing on a mouse and keyboard, go into your keybinds menu under hotbars and scroll all the way down to the bottom. You'll see your duty actions. Just assign that to your favorite keybind and you'll be good to go. Finally, I wanted to say that in my time yesterday in Bozjan, I got to Resistance Rank 8. I don't know how many hours I spent in there, but on my journey to Resistance Rank 8, along the way I played multiple jobs, and some of the time I spent on my Red Mage allowed me to get it from 71 to 74. This is huge, y'all. For anyone still questioning why there wasn't going to be a deep dungeon in this expansion cycle, this is why. You can level your alts extremely quickly from 71 to 80 using the Bozjan Southern Front. I would even go as far to say that you might be able to do it in one sitting in a day. I know that'll be a long day, but you'd be able to get it done, nevertheless. Everyone was ready to complain about this potentially being Eureka 2.0, but what about Heaven on High 2.0 or Palace of the Dead 3.0? I'm not too excited about that either. It's all just the same after a while, and once you spend any considerable amount of time in there, you would probably agree. In addition to being a good EXP grind, your job also plays at level 80 in Bozjan, which is awesome in a sense that it lets you get to practice with your level 80 kit before you get there, so you don't feel like a noob with your pants down the first time you queue up for your expert roulette on your level 80 job with your new buttons. And you don't have to go whack on a stupid dummy because nobody's got time for that. It's a video game. I'm not going to practice a video game outside of playing the video game. Playing is my practice, so that's where I get good. So what does everyone think of Bozjan? Did you find the critical engagements as exciting and exhilarating as I did? Do you agree about the differences setting it apart? Or do you think it really is Eureka 2.0? Make sure to let me know in the comments down below, and like and subscribe if this is something you're interested in. Thanks for stopping by, y'all. Peace.